In this lesson, let's talk about movies. More importantly, let's talk about how we can talk about movies. This is a very common conversation point and people love watching movies generally. So this can be a great conversation starter. And also if people ask you about this, let's see how we can respond to them correctly. Before we get started, hi, I'm Ajit from Capshine. Capshine is a revolutionary learn it together English fluency program. With Capshine, learning English is easy, quick, fun, affordable, and effective. And we promise a whole new you in 6 months or less. What we're going to learn today are the following things. We're going to look at some aspects of asking questions. We're going to see how we can answer questions related to movies as well. And we're going to learn some movie-related vocabulary. All along, we're going to also see some grammatical construction on what is the grammar required to be able to answer and ask questions related to movies. The first conversation point, again, very common one, is do you like watching movies? You can ask this to your speaking partner or you can ask this to someone that you're trying to get to know. And usually the answer is going to be the following. Yes, I like watching movies, or no, I don't like watching movies. That's simple. A follow-up could be, what kind of movies do you like to watch? Now here, let's look at the grammatical construction. I like to watch, this remains the same, and here you will fill in the kind of movie that you like to watch. For example, I like to watch thriller movies. We'll talk more about the different genres of movies towards the end of this lesson, so hold on to that. Make sure you don't stop watching the video until you've gone to the end. So thriller movies, there are different kinds of genres, thriller, action, and we'll talk all about that towards the end. I like to watch action movies. Great. Another conversation point. What's your favorite movie? So here I'm not talking about what kinds of movie you like, but rather what movie you like the most. Again, this depends from person to person. My favorite movie is, and the movie name. Or one of my favorite movies is, notice the difference. One of my favorite movies, this has an S, but when you say my favorite, that can only be one. My favorite movie is. This suggests that you have multiple favorites, out of which one of them is this. A few of my favorite movies are, so if you really feel that you need to talk about more than just one movie, then use this phrase instead. A few of my favorite movies are. So here we go. One of my favorite movies is The Matrix. A few of my favorite movies are Sholay and DDLJ. Sholay, DDLJ and Avatar, right? Again, great ways to answer the same questions. What did you like about it? So a follow-up to that, if you talk about your favorite movie, a follow-up question to that is, what did you like about it? Usually we will use the ing form or rather ing adverbs or adjectives, to describe the movie itself. For example, the action sequences were mind-blowing. The storyline was gripping, right? Mind-blowing meaning it's so amazing. Gripping meaning that you were always on the edge of the seat. It was so persuasive. It was so exciting, gripping. The background score was mesmerizing. Background score essentially is the music track in the background when the action sequences are going on, or whatever scene is going on. The background music is the background score. Mesmerizing is it really put you sort of in a trance. You're feeling almost hypnotized by the music. The screenplay was amazing. What did you like about it? Again, a few other exchanges. I liked, enjoyed, or loved a particular thing. I loved the special effects. My sister liked the heroine's costumes. We enjoyed the comic scenes. To talk about what it is about, again, a natural follow-up question. If you're talking about your favorite movie or a movie that you found interesting, for example, the movie is about and whatever it is about. It is about, and again, whatever it is about. Let's look at some examples. It's about humans in the future colonizing an alien planet with rare resources. This is probably about Avatar, right? It's about a cop who hunts down a violent bank robber. This would be any movie. So it's about and then what it is about. it's about, and what it is about. This construction can help you talk about what a movie is about. Do you have a favorite actor or actress? So again, depends. This could be a good question to ask when you're talking to other people about movies. The answer to this is you may not have a favorite actor, or yes, I really like. So yes or yeah, I really like the actor's name, or I love an actor's name, right? Who's your favorite actor? Maybe have this as a conversation point and make sure you use this construction in your talk time or in your conversation with your friends. Have you seen any good movies lately? So this is a great question. So this starts the conversation of what have been your activities in the last few weeks. Specifically, have you seen anything good lately? And this can spur a lot of conversation as a result. And again, you could ask, what is it about? Did you like the actor? What did you like about it? All these are follow-up questions you can ask with this question as well. So either you didn't see a movie recently, or yeah, actually I just saw, right? This actually is optional. Yeah, I just saw is also fine. Yeah, actually I just saw The Quiet Place. No, not really. I haven't seen any recently, right? So recently could mean as recently as a year back. When someone asks you, have you seen any movie recently? You don't have to talk about just the last week, right? So it can be even up to a year back. And I'm sure all of you have watched some movie or the other in the last year. Let's look at some vocabulary related to movies. We have actors, people who play the parts, director, the person who directs the movie, who sort of plans everything and who tells the actors what to do. You have writers, people who write the script or the dialogues. Sometimes they even write the story and the screenplay. Writers. The producer is the one who arranges the money, who decides how much budget we are going to allocate for everything. They sort of are the money men, producers of a movie. The musicians, essentially, they create the background score, they create the music, or rather the dance videos and whatnot, the music for that. You have lyricists, those who write the songs, cinematographers, who understand how the picture or the framing should be. Reviews essentially are the feedback that people have, the opinions people have about the movie itself. The plot is the storyline, and the screenplay is how everything acts out in the movie. We also have someone called a choreographer. Those people are the ones who plan and train the people on how fight scenes work and also how dance scenes work. They're very similar in how they play out. Let's talk about movie genres. So I told you there are multiple movie genres. So you can have a crime movie, an anime. An anime is essentially like your Japanese animated theme. Sports-related movie, an action movie, a thriller, a comedy, an adventure movie, drama. Drama essentially is, a lot of emotions, a lot of plot twists is drama. Horror, like your spooky ghost stories are horror, or something that involves a lot of psychological violence is also horror. A musical is where everyone sings, everyone dances. And if you watch La La Land, that's a musical. Or My Fair Lady was also a musical. Romance, a movie based on romantic relations between people. A family or a kids movie is something that's designed or created just for kids or for family friendly. So it's usually for for younger audiences, or rather friendly to younger audiences. There won't be too many bad words used, there won't be graphic scenes, there won't be violence. Those are that kind of movie. A documentary is sort of like is something that analyzes something that happened in the past, a situation that analyzes in the past, and interviews people, tries to help us understand. It's sort of very it's information rich. It's also sometimes educational. A documentary, you could have documentaries on the Wall Street or how electric cars are made. You could go crazy. Netflix has a lot of those. And of course, science fiction. If you've seen Star Wars or Avatar, all these are science fiction movies. Let's see how we can describe movies. So if you've watched a movie and you want to describe how it is, here are some positive ways of describing a movie. A movie could be entertaining, in which there were a lot of laughs, there were a lot of good plot twists, it was funny, entertaining. Eye-opening is something that you watch and you realize that you've learned something new that you have never thought about. Eye-opening. Funny, we know what that is. Marvelous is something that's very, very good, something that's very well done is marvelous. Moving is something that makes you feel emotions, that makes you probably even cry. Very moving. Original, something that's very innovative, something with a new plot that you've never thought about. Many say that Inception was a very original movie. Powerful, something again emotionally powerful, something that has a very strong message, something that is also very emotional is powerful. And surprising, something that you didn't expect to be the way it was, is surprising. You could also talk about it in a negative context. You could say that a movie was slow, where have you ever been in a movie theater and felt, oh, it's only 5 minutes, and you felt the seconds hand moving slowly. That's when you realize that the movie is boring or it's very slow or you're not really enjoying it. Slow. Awful is something that's horrible, something that's very, very bad is awful. Boring, depressing, disappointing, something that you had expectations for, but it did not meet that. Gory is very violent, like many horror movies are gory. Predictable, something that was not very surprising, something that was very disappointing in the plot. It was very predictable. And of course, violent, very similar to gory. Great. I hope you found this video useful. Make sure you use these conversation points and the vocabulary discussed in your everyday conversations. Thanks for watching.